Welcome to the Freedom Chronicles.
Definitely an antisocial type.
Only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger.
Hi, perhaps you recognize me. It's your favorite president.
In this present crisis, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
We got a loudspeaker here, and when we go into battle, we play music very loud.
With a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Freedom Chronicles. I'm your host, Mike Imbassiani. Thank you for joining us. We are, of course, broadcasting right here in the Brian Chapman State Farm bunker in Southwest Florida. And like a good neighbor, Brian Chapman State Farm is there for all of the insurance needs that you have for your very own bunker. Give his office a call at 941-625-9998 or visit the office at 2040 Tamiami Trail in Port Charlotte. And this show is sponsored by the Local Meat Club by Tyrone and Marcella Jackson, based out of Columbus, Ohio. Go to localmeatclub.com using the special affiliate link in the description of this video and use promo code FreedomCow, all caps, so that they know that we sent you. Members will have access to some fantastic aged Angus ground beef, ribeye steaks, breakfast sausage, bacon, and even raw butter and raw milk. Try the family week's worth package that includes breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And pick up Tyrone's book, Life's Little Handbook, 7 Steps to Finding Success in Life, which explores some of life's most challenging questions. Just 54 pages, simple and straight to the point. Join the club and experience the difference that fresh, life-supporting food makes. Use the link in the description and use promo code FreedomCow, localmeatclub.com. We got some napkins here because we're going to have something special in a minute. But as always, Mr. Ken Lovejoy is with us and back because it's been a little while.
Yeah.
Heart nurse, RN, very smart lady. I love seeing all her posts on Instagram, so you need to follow her as well. It's Mary Yuter. Mary, how are you?
Hey guys, how are you? Thank you for having me back. I'm excited to be here.
I miss you. He still gets to see you, but they kicked me. They eliminated me from Instagram for wrong thinking. So yeah. I don't get to see your posts anymore. But you look great. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing very well. Yeah. Staying warm and sassy up here in New York City.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You're freezing up there.
Yeah.
Boy, it was 60 this morning here.
I know. It was cold.
Man. Oh, we're bundling
It's raining
up,
again.
Bundling up. We're chopping.
You guys are so pampered. You really are. You're pampered.
Speaking of warm, so is the sandwich.
Yes. So Mary,
I don't know why he wanted to do this.
We'll give you.
Are you guys taunting me?
I've mentioned this before. This is now only the second time I've been to KFC. The first time was when this originally came out in 2014. And I know it's not as good as what the Local Meat Club offers, and that's why I need to go use the affiliate link and get the good meat shipped right to your door. But this just showed, wow, and thank you for the napkins, that advertising works. This is the double down, and you're a heart nurse, so you can tell us how bad this is for you. But this is 2 pieces of chicken.
We did a little bit of research on a previous show where we ate hot dogs. It was a huge hit, so we thought, why not double down?
Double down, heyo, because that's what this is called. So, Miss Mary Heart Nurse here. This is 2 pieces of chicken, 2 pieces of bacon, 2 pieces of cheese, no bun. So there's no bread other than the breading on the chicken. But for those,
he got the grilled one.
No, they don't have a grilled one because it's Kentucky Fried Chicken. So there is no grilled one, unfortunately.
Oh, good. All right.
So as a heart nurse,
so we're both abusing ourselves.
While we eat this, Mary, please tell us how bad this is for us.
Oh my God, I can't believe you guys are doing this to me. First of all, you know what's interesting is looking at the bag itself. Now I think your bag had foil in it, but when you look at the bag, all the grease is on the bag. Right now you guys are jacking up your arteries. If we were to spin out your blood, it's going to have like fat in it. But I just want to tell you, this is not going to set you back in life. Yes.
No. 20 miles of cycling, take care of it.
20 miles.
Would that be good then?
Only 20 miles?
Why did 30 on Sunday?
So that's excellent. Let me tell you, it's not so much the miles or the exercise, because what this is doing, you could have for example, you could have an athlete and he goes out on the basketball court, plays his game, and then he has what exactly you're having, and then he washes it down with some soda, which is sugar. All of this stuff is inflaming you.
I don't drink soda.
Me neither.
No soda?
Water.
Okay.
Water.
And
All right.
Snapple.
Water
Okay.
or black coffee, no sugar. No cream.
Okay. Well, I would say one meal like this, if you're pretty good, routinely is not going to set you back. And I've seen a doctor, Dr.
Now I'm
Greger on
enjoying it even
Nutrition
more.
Facts. Yeah,
You
he
heard it
said
here,
that.
folks. The
Yeah.
Hartner said it's fine. We're not going to turn into
Just-
Brendan Fraser in The Whale.
This is my incentive to work out.
Yes, absolutely. Well, the thing is to have this kind of food qualitatively, like the meat company that you were promoting on the way into our program today. Qualitative, healthy, grass-fed animals raised in a good environment, not having GMO food themselves, but having natural grass. That's a qualitative food, and there is benefit to meat. I used to be staunchly vegan, and now I've kind of changed my ways. There's a movie called Super Size Me, which yeah, that's a great movie to see, where this guy continually eats like you're eating right now, and how his doctor in 30 days said, you're going to die. Morgan Spurlock is the producer's name of that movie. So
yeah, I didn't. I haven't eaten other than McDonald's coffee.
Nope.
I can't remember the
Albuquerque,
last time
2016.
well, I just have to say, I was in Nashville and all bets were off. I was in Nashville. It was amazing food.
And I did get, we got the special KFC fries as well. The secret recipe fries, whatever that means. And so when you're seeing stuff like that, it's all, well, who was it in your own state of New York who's now gone? Was it Cuomo or de Blasio? It's de Blasio who's going, look at that, get the jab and you get a cheeseburger.
Freedom
you
fries.
Get fries. Yeah, you get fries. These are Freedom fries. The de Blasio ones were not.
That was de Blasio.
Basically trying to bribe de Blasio trying to bribe people into supposedly being healthy and getting the jab, and then, here, be unhealthy. Your reward is to be unhealthy. Here, we'll give you a burger and fries for free for risking your health by getting the jab.
Hey, give us an update. What has your experience been in seeing how the jab has been affecting people in your area, maybe people you know?
Wow. Well, I am working with people on this exact issue, because we are seeing a lot of cardiovascular issues, clotting, heart attacks, myocarditis, pericarditis, all the itises, which is inflammation, which causes your heart to pump irregularly or become hypertrophic, where you can have the heart compensating and becoming bigger than it should be, all kinds of problems, neurologic problems. And what's going on is that these people have no support. The pharmaceutical company is not liable. The medical professionals are not liable. And now,
well, they're liable. They just have immunity.
Right.
Exactly. And now health insurers are starting to pull back. So these people who think they're going to the doctor and their treatment is going to be paid for, I saw something about Humana in about 12 to 18 months is going to be terminating corporate contracts. So, so these people just have no support and they are sick. And I just had a conversation yesterday with a woman who, her daughter was fine, had 2 of the shots that the company sponsored, the Oscars, let's just say that.
Oscars,
and yes.
And the Grammys and CNN news shows and ABC news shows.
And their CEO
NBC,
looks like a visual
CNN.
personification of a burp.
Yes.
Burp.
Yes. So,
Look at him.
so,
Yeah.
so her daughter had 2 shots. She was a fine, healthy young lady, and now she's got neurological problems, cardiac problems, and they're devastated. And the doctors are not owning up that this is any kind of relation,
No.
because doctors will lose their license. They've been instructed not to say anything. One of the doctors specifically told her not to say anything. This was a conversation yesterday. And I know firsthand from a loved one that uh, they wanted to hospitalize him that day, and because his blood pressure was 200 over 120, and
Kind of
he
like
was at
Ben's
risk for.
getting it with this sandwich.
You feeling the buzz?
Yes. So
This
his
thing's a feast.
I know.
so they wanted to, yeah. How is it anyway? Is it tasty?
It does. Come on. It's Kentucky
very
Fried
good.
Chicken.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
Well,
I mean,
and Mary,
there's
I saw
somebody
you
here that knows
post
the
this.
Heimlich, right?
Yeah, my mom's a nurse.
All right.
So, and Mary, I saw you literally just posted this on Instagram, and this is Woman Month. If you haven't seen the last week's episode of International Women's Day, you have to check that out on Rumble, YouTube, and all of that. But you're talking about symptoms for heart attacks can be different in women than they are in men. You want to explain a little bit in the differences of what people see?
That's correct. And good question. A lot of women present to the hospital, and it's GI type symptoms or extreme fatigue combined with nausea, GI problems, upset, with maybe some pain, but it might not even be. It might be in the back, actually. And an unseasoned health worker or the wrong triage might send them home with something for the GI system.
Yeah.
And when you're a woman in the hospital, it would behoove you to say, no, I want to, even your EKG might show up as fine, and they're trying to rule you out. And what really needs to happen is the EKG might not be showing the manifestation of heart injury, but there's something called troponins, which is an enzyme the heart puts out. It's like as if the heart was crying tears of pain.
Really?
And troponin is the only, it's only made by the heart. So consider it like the tears of the heart. So the heart might not be crying that much, but later on in the day, a few hours later, if you do serial trends of that lab work, you'll start to see it elevate, and then you'll see it in the EKG. So it might not be showing up in the EKG, might not be showing up immediately. Person is still having the GI upset, and then we see all this happen later. So it's really important for women to stay the course, because they are not seen as having a heart attack. It's traditionally been a man's disease. Men had the heart attacks, not the women. The woman traditionally was home with the kids. But when you think about it, women nowadays are running the family. Nobody ever said to a man, I don't know how you do it, Mike. You're out. You went shopping today. You made dinner for the kids. You got the kids off to school, and you're working full time. How do you do it, Mike?
I just don't know.
Well, it's just who I am.
She's talking to me, Ken.
Huh? Oh. Well, you're 25.
26. Yeah, well, what's that Bill Burr joke? That's why, guys, they want to pet the puppies. They want to eat the cookies. They want to carve a pumpkin, but we don't. We shove it down. We shove the emotion down until you drop of a heart attack at 35.
Yeah, and that's happening now. People are also having heart attacks, dying in their sleep, dying suddenly.
Well, and that's just it. It's the SADS. Don't be sad. Sudden adult death syndrome. Again, Ken, it doesn't look good taking the bite off camera. Just do it on camera. It's okay. We know what you're doing. But yeah, we follow. Mary, you and I both follow the same page on Instagram, the Died Suddenly, where there's posts multiple times a day, every day. Yeah, you did follow it, Ken, until you were blacklisted on Instagram. But just this one today, 17-year-old cheerleader goes into cardiac arrest during a warm-up at the Raleigh High School there. Stuff like that should not be happening. No. Now, it's been 3 months since you've been on the show, Mary. And so what are your thoughts from what you're seeing of what happened to Damar Hamlin, because everybody wants to say, oh, he just got hit super hard. And that's what made him die on the field and then die again at the hospital before being, luckily, thank God, resuscitated like Ken has to be shortly.
There's actually even more to it possibly than that, like outside of the realm of medicine and shots. Who knows if this would be the perfect example of someone allegedly having the shot. All this, this did not look like a hit because he got back up. And if you are hit,
immediately,
your heart is stunned.
I've taken hits. That wasn't a hit.
If you're hit, your heart is stunned, and you're out. You don't get back up and then go out. So they were saying this was a cardiac contusion type injury in the beginning, but no, that doesn't happen. But this could have been the perfect situation where the doctors are now working on a shot that you inject directly into the heart after someone's had this. So he could have been the perfect introduction to this new medical treatment that's coming out. And also, he refused to say why this happened to him. He stepped away from.
He's refusing to.
I think it was, my opinion is that he and his family were well taken care of to shut up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's sad to see because it was a big game.
He's not going to play ball
against big teams on national television, and you see that happen. And it's what I've said multiple times on this show. It takes a lot for somebody to admit they were wrong and they made a bad decision, especially if they did it to themselves. But it's not even, you don't want to shame anybody. If you made a bad decision in life, it's okay.
Okay, first wife, it was a mistake.
Right? We all have those bad decisions and mistakes that we've made. But now it's about acknowledging that, admitting it, and trying to figure out how to fix it. Because here's a person that we all are trying to see him get better, and he has to admit it.
I think that he was trying to.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think he was trying to admit it by not saying anything. Yeah. And we also have to understand that
his eyes were blinking in Morse.
Yeah, people were backed into a corner, and with mortgages and babies to take care of, and so this was a tremendously difficult decision. And I have friends who, quite a few friends who did this and didn't want to. And then there are other people who thought, because of what they were fed on the media. And I saw a great quote. Where is it? It was the news. The news is trauma-based mind control, and you're not being informed. You're being manipulated, and people were manipulated into this is for the greater good. We learned a new coin term, virtue signaling. But then when things got bad is when people were called grandma killers for not doing this, it was another method of polarizing. Yeah.
You still have it. What's weird is I'm on Twitter under an assumed name, and
for now,
and I'm seeing these PhD, two different ones, both females, both doctors. One's a PhD. Her fifth shot. It's like at what point,
Yeah, when is enough? Because it never will be for these people.
I'm finding that the higher the degree, the more people are following along, rather than using critical thinking skills and saying, "Wait, what is
critical thinking has gone out the window?" I mean, all you have to do is read your hat, resist. So
resist these burgers and all that stuff.
I know. I've only taken 3 bites thus far. Ken already finished his
for the show.
Yeah.
You guys got me, I have to tell you. But yeah, the point is, today what I wanted to say is to get your health house in order. Because if anything is showing us, we had a grid down in Oakland, California. We've had so many train derailments. And this is very suspicious. We've had warehouses full of chickens and eggs. We've had bad feed going out where chickens weren't laying eggs because their feed,
What was in
something's
the
going on with
feed?
the
Yeah.
feed.
Yep.
Now
Tractor
there's
Supply.
been,
Looking at you, Tractor Supply.
yeah, there's been
It's on
short,
purpose. It's on purpose.
there's
You
been,
can't
yeah, there's been,
explain this away with oh, it's just a coincidence. If
Yeah.
it's a coincidence, then the idiocracy is taken over because it's being ran by nothing but incompetence, and that's not the case. They know what's going on. That's being done deliberately.
well,
Sadly,
there's more.
not enough
There's
people are
more.
seeing.
There's also the containers, and there's now the banks. And so in the whole supply chain, we have a just-in-time situation where this has to go here and then it's picked up here. So everything moves on just in time. If that's interrupted, everything's interrupted. And if we can't get raw supplies for and people to make medications that people rely on, they could be in trouble. But if we backstep it, our bodies are not deficient in statins. Our bodies are not deficient in beta blockers. They're not deficient in Tylenol. We take those things to cover symptoms. Can you guys, this is a little, now I'm going to get you back. What is the only medication that doesn't cover symptom? It actually cures a disease process.
I'm sorry.
That doesn't cover symptoms of what?
That doesn't cover symptoms. It cures a disease process. There's only one type of medication.
Ooh, I don't know. What is it?
Antibiotics.
Oh, yeah, it does cure.
But everything else pretty much just covers a symptom.
That's why I don't.
So
yeah, and normally they cause three other problems that you then have to take another drug for.
Yeah.
And then you eventually get to the drug where they say side effect may be death.
And it's a cascade. That's one thing I've noted of a family member who's elderly, was in great shape. 2 shots of Moderna, and 3 weeks later, clots all over the body.
Yeah.
It's been a downhill slide ever since. And now the amount of meds, just a bevy of meds. And it's like...
that's not a good way to function.
No.
Well, we can work on that naturally. We can work on that with things that you can do to naturally clear the blood. I'm actually... a distributor now for a medical device called Beamer. And what this does is it's a pulsed electromagnetic field technology that specifically, like we have bad EMFs, like everything around us, satellites, cell phones, and so on.
The 5G.
But just like oxygen can be toxic at high levels, like in a hospital on a ventilator, you want to get someone off that 100% oxygen. So EMFs can be healing and for example, the earth puts out an EMF that's grounding, that's very good for us. It helps our bodies get back into a homeostasis with our electrons and our magnetism. So the pulse electromagnetic field technology, this is very special, where it opens up the microvasculature. It opens up the vasculature down to the tiny, I don't know if you've ever seen the bodies exhibit where it's like we've got thousands of miles of little teeny vessels, but those close off. And this opens them up. So you lie on a mat 8 minutes in the morning, 8 minutes in the evening. It keeps you vasodilated for 12 to 18 hours and increases the blood flow, which decreases the pressure on the heart. It can work towards decreasing your pressure. And when you have more oxygen coming to the tissues, you're taking away CO2, and you're creating. It's used by Navy SEALs. It's used by
how do we
NASA.
get one?
Yeah, you're a distributor. How do people get one?
Go to my website.
What's the website?
It's www.heart2soul, all spelled out, CW. So it's
you gonna give us a Freedom Cow discount?
Yeah, we need affiliate link.
I'll see what I can do. But it's wonderful, and it's the cherry on the sundae for anybody with a cardiac issue or a clotting issue. Although if you have a history of there are contraindications. this is not over the counter for purchase because there are contraindications, and you need to be trained when you purchase it. So I'm very astute about that and very mindful about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this moves your blood flow along, and I have a little dog here who unfortunately got in a tangle with a car, and the car won.
Oh.
And so he had to have an amputation, and I used it on him, and he's a maniac now. He runs around, all of his superficial wounds healed up. We use it. It's amazing. So can't say enough about it. And it's natural. It's something and it's different than, you can get EMF mats, PEMF anywhere, but this has a patented technology where the waveform is very special to keep those vessels open for the 12 to 18 hour period. So that's what makes it different. Yeah.
Cool.
And that's why I jumped on board.
CW.com. Heart2soulcw.com. Cool. Well, we're going to do our music break here. When we come back, we'll do a Patriot and Trader and get into some other news and fun stuff. And you can tell us how the wonderful, not so free state of New York is doing. But folks, if you're enjoying this show, let us know. Send us an email, mikeandbassiani1@gmail.com. And make sure, if you're watching this on Rumble, subscribe to the Rumble channel. Share it with your friends, and leave a comment down below. Let us know, have you tried the KFC Double Down?
To me, it was a winner.
It's a winner.
I just had lunch and dinner.
Second time. Yeah, that is lunch and dinner. Jeez. Second time at KFC. Again, only for this sandwich. I would never probably step foot in there again.
It did taste good.
It was very good.
Anyway, sorry.
Also follow us on
CTVA.
CTVA. Oh, yeah. CTA, Conservative Television of America, CTVA.tv. Check out the show on there, as well as on YouTube for now. Hopefully this episode doesn't get pulled down. So subscribe to the YouTube channel, as well as on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio. And if you really enjoy this show, because the apple fritters are back flowing over at Abby's Donuts. I know, Mary, that's another thing we can talk about. It's only one a week, exactly. It's only one a week, so you can give a little
carbo load.
I know, a little apple fritter donation on Venmo at Mike-Bassiani-1. We greatly appreciate it. We've got a very fun St. Patrick's Day show coming up. See, even the little puppy wants an apple fritter. But a special St. Patrick's Day show coming up this Friday, and it's Lovejoy's birthday. So if you're in the Southwest Florida area, come out to Leroy's.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, not today. Friday.
On St. Patrick's Day, Friday, yeah. So you come see my band, Mike and Bassiani's Blues Rockers. We had a great show this past Monday over at Fasani. Simply Clapped and sold out. Honestly, Ken, I've never heard the room rumble that loud.
It was good.
People were awesome. So check out this video.
Drinking a lot.
They were. Check out this video from that show. This is I've Got a Rock and Roll Heart. There you go. I've got a rock and roll heart. A good rock
Like
and roll
that.
heart. And
Love
folks,
it.
thank you. Before we get into our Patriot and Trade of the Week, I want to let everybody know that I will be speaking. And technically, today is Wednesday as we record this. So I'll be speaking tomorrow, Thursday, March 16th, the Charlotte County Republican Club Freedom Thursday Speaker Series over at the All-Star Sports Grill in Port Charlotte.
Talking to a lot of elderly people there for the early bird.
Oh,
right
yeah.
There
I'll be bringing the age average way down. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Try the brisket.
Yes, so if you're in the local Charlotte County area, come on out. Event is open to the public, no charge. That's the good news right there, no charge. So you can come, arrive at 7 o'clock.
You to buy something to eat.
Well, yeah, but
yeah,
again,
you're cheap.
So the doors open at 7 o'clock. Event starts at 7:30. It's going to be a lot of fun. Again, Charlotte County Republican Club Freedom Thursday Speaker Series. Thursday, March 16th, tomorrow. So, Mary, who is your Patriot of the Week?
My Patriot of the Week is a gentleman named Andy Frisella. And have you heard of him?
I don't believe I have.
No.
Okay. He owns quite a few companies, one being First Form, which is a supplement company. He's got a podcast I highly recommend, and I'll tag you on it, Mike. And when you get back on and you're a big boy again, Ken, I'll tag you as well.
I don't think they're going to let me. I think he can email it to me.
Yeah, I'll send it to him.
Okay.
I'm not going to go back.
No.
I don't need, I'm much happier not being on social media. I really am.
I hear you.
I lots of other stuff I can be doing.
Yeah.
Like prepping for my show.
Yes.
That is how I prep for my show.
So Andy is very much a patriot, and he speaks out all the time, unleashed on his show. He uses 4-letter words as exclamation points. So
we would
just know that going in. Okay.
We do occasionally. Fred kind of made up for what we don't say on that other episode.
Good. Okay. Yeah. I mean, and he is very much an advocate for patriots, and I highly suggest you follow him. I don't know if you could see it. I wore my special.
Yep.
This is
very nice.
This is a program. It's an entrepreneurial coaching program that he and another gentleman I highly recommend named Ed Milet. They started this program called Arete, which means excellence. And entrepreneurs don't really have a school, or really what you want to get your advice from is very successful entrepreneurs, and they both are. Ed owns about 20-something companies, but they both came from nothing, and their stories are amazing. And Andy's credo is personal excellence is the ultimate rebellion, meaning that if you strive to be your best in your mindset, in your values, in your example, how you present, how you walk in this world, and you do your best in all those avenues, and then you bring someone along with you, and you have them bring someone along, this is how we can change the world. It's one person at a time. Just like when you have a company, it's not selling to a bunch of people at a time. It's selling and servicing one person at a time. Those people will end up being your advertising, not all this other advertising. So I can't say enough good things about him. And he's got many different ways that he runs his show. One is they cruise the internet, CTI. One is long form, where they have a long guest talk, kind of like what we're doing. And then one is Q&A, where you can write in your questions and answers about personal, professional, what's going on in the world. But his big thing is we need a wood chipper. And people go ahead.
And it needs to be Fargo.
We need to go Fargo.
Yes, is.
Very good one. All right, Ken, who is your Patriot of the Week? Some good. There's a little sliver of good somewhere out there, isn't there?
Well, it would have to once again be Donald J. Trump.
Donald J. Trump.
just off the top of my head, I didn't really prepare for this
I know
segment.
you don't. Okay.
My traders are always rolling through my head.
Yeah.
But just the Q&A session that he had after his speech the other day was brilliant. And nobody can do what Trump does. There's not another political candidate out there that can do what Trump does, that can connect with the everyman and every woman the way that he does. And I mean, these were questions, he's answering them off the cuff. You get Ron DeSantis to do that right now. His handlers would be going, no,
and he'll get shaky. No. He'll get shaky like he got going
he
against Charlene.
Something we don't want. So he's already taken heat for his Tucker Carlson asked a bunch of, I don't know if you know, Tucker asked a bunch of possible presidential, Trump being one of them, what they thought of the Ukraine situation.
Oh, yeah.
Trump's like, end it, get out. We don't need to be there. And DeSantis was along that same line. And the establishment
doesn't like that.
The Uniparty went nuts. What do you mean he doesn't want it? And then you've got Pence, who's a war hawk, and a bunch of them decided not to even answer the question.
Of course.
We'd
have to wait and see what it looks like when the time comes.
He's still got the energy. He's still got the persona. He's still got the mental acuity.
Good.
He's tight.
Yes, he is. And Donald J. Trump.
I love Ron. He's our one of our great governors, but it's not.
Needs to stay that way as governor.
He's establishment. I can't.
Yes.
No.
Anyway, my Patriot of the Week goes out to James O'Keefe, and we have a little breaking news.
What's he been up to?
He
I haven't
has
heard nothing.
just announced what he's going to be doing. Let's roll the clip.
The irony of the Acorn story is that it took a 25-year-old with a hidden camera a few days to do what billion-dollar networks and journalists could not do in a decade. I spent 14 years creating the most effective nonprofit newsroom this country has ever seen. And in paving the way to establish citizen journalism, I have been defamed, arrested, raided, and ultimately removed from the organization I spent so much time developing credibility of. I always knew they would try to ruin the reputations of those who expose them, the pharma giants, the three-letter government agencies, and those who I thought I could trust. But in response, we are going to build an army of investigators and exposers. They have awakened a sleeping giant. I'm back. Remaining by my side are a small, tight-knit group of the most elite journalists in the world. Exposing corruption requires standing up to power, because power hates sunlight. We are sunlight.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Good for him.
Yeah.
And you missed the end of it. The end of it is the O'Keefe Media Group. #OMG. So good for him.
Good.
He's got to throw in his dancing. I love the Subway sandwich.
We don't need any more musicals.
No.
It's just,
No, but you know what? Good for him. He's shoving it in their face.
He did.
And that's exactly what they need to do.
And you look over at Veritas and what they've done. Yeah, they fire their top journalist over there.
So fine, they all go with O'Keefe,
and then
they'll all do great, and they'll get real journalism.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Veritas, I don't know what they think they're going to become.
Yeah, they're going to become a shell.
How do you get rid of all of your top journalists and think that you still have the ability to go out there and raise money? And what are you going to do?
Who's going to trust you? Nobody. No insider whistleblower who's going to, in some cases, risk their lives if you're not messing with the wrong people. You're not going to talk to them and put their faith in Project Veritas now. So good for O'Keefe and
OMG.
I love it. And Mary, like you said about your Patriot, it takes one person. It takes one person to stand up, do the right thing, and get the right information and get it to the world. So it's very important. We have about 10 minutes left. Mary, who is your trader of the week? We got to get through these.
Well, I just wanted to say something to you. First, there's a sandwich theme here today. And second,
950 calories.
Yes. Oh, geez. You're done for dinner. That's it. But yeah, this is grassroots. This is an example of grassroots, and I think this is how we build everything back. And so,
Yes.
on the flip side of that, my trader of the week would be from the top down, anybody at Davos, because think about it. Think about it. How would it be if we, the people, were to decide their fate?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
really,
I think
we've
that's
been
when the wood chipper
we're
comes
going
back in.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is really the whole World Economic Forum and all that. Anybody
The
involved in
Klaus
that. And
Schwabs.
yes,
Klaus
yes.
with the lady's underwear on under his suit.
You
Allegedly.
guys are out of control.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is who I would say, and also our governor here
In New York.
for her.
Oh, Ho
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
what a hag.
Mm.
What a horrible human being.
How are things in New York
Oh.
right now?
It's almost like anticipatory reaction. Like it's almost like this kind of like during COVID, like this anticipatory, and it's like a chess game. What's going on? And we have Adams, who's now the mayor.
Yeah. I had such high hopes. Such high hopes for him.
Yeah.
He's worse than de Blasio.
Yeah.
That's saying something.
At least de Blasio offered you cheeseburgers and fries.
Yeah.
He's going vegan.
Adams is
He's
such
trying
a
to get the
poser.
city vegan, but vegan is now captured by Gates. I mean, all these companies they have harmful things in them for you. The only true vegan is from our farmers, from the company that you promote for the meat products. These kind of companies are important, but anything you buy that's made in a plant, no bueno. But if it was from a plant, that's fine. So that's a good guideline to go by. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what's going on here is it's just people, and you see people in masks still, and you're like, dude. And then the subway
they're
and
doing
the
that down
crime.
here too. Probably
The
not as
crime
many,
is
but there are.
Yeah, the crime is crazy. It's really crazy. And they were talking about taking token booth clerks and having them come out of the token booth if there's a scuffle. Well, excuse me, but I don't think that's in their job description.
No.
And
They're gonna
they're not
throw the
gonna,
tokens at them.
right?
Yeah, if I'm a
and
token
there are no
reporter,
tokens
say, you're giving me
anymore.
a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's a scuffle, the token booth person's closing the window.
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
and then they're saying now, take off your mask if you go into a store, so they can see who you are. Like that's the new rule. That is, or it's
Take off the mask.
It's
Put on
the mask. Take off the mask.
Yeah. Exactly.
I always love. I really want to say it to somebody so bad. Whenever I see somebody with the mask just around their chin, I want to say, "Where's the rest of your helmet?" Because you got the chin strap, but there's no helmet. But
I know it.
All right.
Yes, we're getting short on time.
And then,
Ken, who's
okay.
Ken, who's your trader?
Lindsey Graham.
Oh yeah, I had that story. Lindsey just being a little.
He's a war hawk.
Yeah.
The
what was it?
The very effeminate Lindsey Graham never misses a chance to try and get us involved in a war.
Here it is. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He suggests shooting down the Russian military aircraft after a Russian jet collides with a U.S. drone. Let's start a. And here's Zelensky. Yeah. I want your sons and daughters to fight for Ukraine.
No, I think he needs to actually suit up and go himself.
Oh, yeah. He's got the camouflage already.
He's already halfway there.
Yeah. Sad.
So anyway, Lindsey,
Warhawk,
douche.
Lindsey.
Sorry.
Yep. Sad. Anyway, my trader goes out to Gavin Newsom.
Oh, Greasy Gavin.
Greasy Gavin. California Democratic governor. He cheered the federal government's decision to protect the Silicon Valley bank's depositors without mentioning that he is also one of them.
Yeah.
Hey, go figure. Newsom praised Biden administration on Sunday after the federal government announced that the FDIC would cover all the losses from the Silicon Valley bank collapse. The bailout was a surprise for SVB's largest depositors, as FDIC insurance is guaranteed to cover only up to $250,000 per account. And
they're going well above that.
Yeah. So,
and Greasy Gavin.
And this goes into the bigger conversation, and I'm hoping to have a guest on next week that can dive into it a little bit more. So we'll see if that happens. A little teaser for now. But this whole thing is just ridiculous. And if you go back a couple months, everybody was talking about it. There could be a possible run on the banks. There could be a possible run on the banks. And what did they call us again and again and again? Whether it's about COVID, about the government, about the FBI lying, about the January 6th thing, about the jab, now about the bank runs. What do they call us? Conspiracy theorists until
we're not.
It
we're
happens.
Truth predictors.
Right. We're truth predictors because we're seeing it happen. So we have some breaking news of what a top source is telling us of what is going to happen with all of this bank run thing. And Ben, you get ready to hit the bleep button, because I believe the quote that is we are. So, and it's sad to see because nobody is believing what is happening. Yeah, here we go. I'm watching the traditional banking system just collapse. So prepare yourself, folks. Dan Bongino's been saying it. Now, of course, you're starting to hear everybody else on Fox and every other news source talk about it, when normal people, conspiracy theory people, have been talking about it for months. So prepare yourself now, because something is going to happen.
Stock up on the rice and beans.
Yeah, and gold. And just as you saw what happened with FTX, you're seeing it now with the banks. And it's all false flags.
But SVB was it's not all the banks that are doing what SVB did. SVB was not following any normal banking procedures at all. Mm-hmm. They were heavily invested in green deals that had yet to show any revenue back to the bank.
Yeah.
They had no risk assessment officer who usually would say, hey, why are you making these investments?
Right.
This isn't good for the bank.
Right.
So, and when you look at there was malfeasance from only one person on the board of SVB had any experience in banking at all.
But what I'm saying is they're going to use this just as they want to use the FTX to use it to get us into the central banking digital currency, which is what?
My only
more
is
government control.
What's the black market currency going to be then?
Right.
Because that's what we're going to
bullets.
Start. Yeah. Well, it's going to be something.
Yeah. Mary, what are your thoughts?
I agree with everything you guys are saying. It's, I was just thinking about 15-minute cities. Like, this is heading us into this digital currency, and we've got.
We are going to shrink you into a small.
And folks,
boxes.
if you don't think that would happen in your neighborhood,
unless we allow you to. If you say the wrong thing, it will be heard and seen. It will be deducted from your digital bank account.
And folks, if you don't think that can happen in your tiny area, we're here in the free state of Florida, and Lee County, Fort Myers, thinks a 15-minute city is a great idea. So it can happen in your area. So it's not just going to happen in Mary's backyard of New York. Yeah, exactly. They're selling it, so it can happen anywhere. So quickly, Mary, to wrap up, tell us, where can people find you? Tell us about your book, and where can people find you on Instagram?
Okay, people can find me at Heart Health Accelerator on Instagram, at Heart to Soul CW on Instagram, and at hearttosoulcw.com, which is my website. I have a cardiac wellness program on there where I help people who have had a cardiac event or are vaccine injured. And I also am representing a company called Beamer, which is pulse electromagnetic frequency technology to help you with your cardiovascular. So thank you so much, guys, for having me. Always enjoyable. I love seeing you guys. Thank you for your great work. You are my patriot today.
Oh, I appreciate it. Oh, thank you. Ken, go ahead. What were you going to say?
Nothing. It was great. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for being here. And what is one good tip that people can follow as we're coming out of winter into spring for their heart health?
I would say get outside every day, get your vitamin D. Make sure your vitamin D is good, and even supplement with D, but make sure you have K2 along with the D in the supplement itself, because that'll keep the calcium out of your arteries and into your cells.
Very good. Mary, thank you. Go check it out. Heart, Soul, and go get Mary's book on Amazon as well. And support. And it always can take one person. One person helps change everything because one person tells another person, tells everybody else. Folks, thank you for watching. Greatly appreciate it. Subscribe to the Rumble page, YouTube channel. Check out CTA, all that good stuff from the bunker. Good night, everybody.
You're watching Conservative Television of America, working hard to stick socialism where the sun don't shine.